How are you seeing the Saints? Have they won you over yet?
They have been just so impressive, the St Kilda Football Club. This is credit to everyone involved because they got 6 or 7 players in their best 22 that aren't playing, and then they lose their skipper, their Steely Resolve, and they still get the job done against the Bombers. It was magnificent to watch. So I'm a man who likes to look forward, Gerard, and when you look at the Saints last year, they started the year 8-3. Now, I'm not a Saints fan, so I'm allowed to say this. Now, the St Kilda fans would be telling me to absolutely shut up right at this particular point, but I'm going there anyway, Saints fans. Round 4 against the Suns, tick, you will win. 5 and 6, you will lose.
Who are they?
Collingwood and Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
Then round 7 against Port Adelaide at Marvel, tick. Round 8, North Melbourne at Marvel, tick. Crows at Adelaide Oval, 50-50, but I'll give you a tick because you're confident.
You're generous.
Your confidence is flying by then. And then the Giants at Giants Stadium, which I have given another tick to. So all of a sudden...
And then Hawthorn at Marvel.
Yes, all of a sudden, up until the bye, they'll be in pretty much an identical position to what they were
even
in
if it's
2022.
7-4. I don't know any St Kilda supporter that wouldn't take that.
So get excited, Saints fans. You should honestly now, and this is serious, you should honestly expect the football club, as a minimum, with the teams you're playing, to be, I'll give them 7-4, Gerard, after 11. And that should be the lowest bar that you're setting.
I love it when you
Johnno,
get your crystal ball out, Johnno.
Because I got my little cheat sheet here, which tells me their whole draw after the bye. I mean, there's some tough ones straight after the bye, but still to come. West Coast they play again, North they play again, Hawthorn they play again, and the Suns they play again.
So that's 11. We're giving them 11.
Are you declaring them as finals? Not contenders, certainties?
No, they're not certainties. They're going to be on the bubble. What's that? 11 or 12 is on the. He's right on the bubble.
Probably
Max comes back.
In the next couple of weeks, they'll get Tim Membry back and they'll get Jack Steele back in 3 to 4 weeks. So that brings them back maybe Carlton, Port Adelaide games at Marvel. Then post-bye, they'll get King, Webster, probably Billings and Caulfield. So there's going to be some players that are going to miss out, which is going to be unfortunate. But overall, their side should get stronger in this period where we're talking, especially post-bye, which was the problem last year. So
it's funny
because
the personnel hasn't been an issue for them, Johnno, because Ross has got them playing the way he wants.
Right.
So it's not a matter of who's playing, it's how they're playing. Their contested ball is through the roof. Pre-clearance, like at the actual stoppage, they're just a little off, but post that, their pressure around the ground, plus 25 possessions in the post-clearance contested ball. I mean, their pressure is clearly elite. They're playing as a team, both in defence and in attack. They're the number 1 ball movement side in the competition, and then number 3 at defending ball movement. So he's had an amazing impact straight up. And he kept laughing at people, asking him about, have you looked at the list? What about the list? Is the list good enough? And clearly he's not that worried about the list. It's about getting them to play. Whoever's on that list, play this way. I will worry about talent down the track.
It's the collective. When you go for an NBA perspective, I think is it the Spurs that played like this, played as the team, Paddy Mills through that era where they weren't the best team, but they just got it all right as a team, and it just took them to heights that were probably unexpected from everyone else.
Well, sporting history is littered with that, isn't it? Teams that don't have the most talent but get the most out of themselves. I'm not tipping in yet. I think you gave them some wins there, including Saturday night against the Suns. You just say tick straight away. I'm not sure that's a Monty. I'm not sure Port Adelaide in Adelaide is
I can't see the
Monty.
Suns breaking down this
right.
team defence.
We'll see.
It's such an important game for the Suns.
Yeah.
I mean, they had this.
Well, it is.
They had this sort of breakout game against Geelong, but Geelong aren't really Geelong at the moment. So you have to question how big a breakout that is. So this one coming up, Johnno, is a serious challenge for the Suns. Johnno, yes or no are the only 2 responses. No maybes this week. Both Nick and Josh Dacos are all Australian certainties after round 3, Johnno. Yes or no?
Yes.
Will Setterfield is in the voting for Recruit of the Year.
Yes.
Clayton Oliver should be the favourite for the Brownlow.
Yes.
Buddy Franklin should move from the square to the half-forward line somewhere.
Yes.
Hawthorn will continue Geelong's losing streak, yes or no?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Hawthorn will continue Geelong's losing streak.
Kane I was focused on Kane there for a second. No.
I had a cramp in the hamstring, Johnno. That's what happened.
He's had a Rafa Nadal moment.
I went down.
He's had a Rafa moment.
I didn't know
And
that.
I saw it out of the side. I saw something going on.
Yeah.
He's Rafa Nadal press conference under the desk. Couldn't move. Hammy cramp.
Yeah, go on.
You've been
Is
running.
Kane in
Have you
trouble?
been running today?
Yes.
Running too much, yes.
Griffin Logan Blake Acres should have got 2 weeks. Yes or no?
No.
We should have a mid-season draft for players on AFL lists. Yes or no?
Yes.
The AFL should have a minimum 2 weeks for shoulder charges or bumps that hit the head.
Oh, I just said no before. The guy should have got there, so no.
You're going no, okay. Johnno, on the way to the Surf Coast this weekend, the M80 Ring Road will trap hundreds, maybe more, of unaware drivers who stay in the right lane, as has been the case for the last 10 years. Yes or no?
Stay left. Stay left.
Will
yes,
they
it
be
will.
trapped?
Yes, they will be trapped. Yes, you will have to go off a boundary road and do a U-E and come back.
The signage is pathetic. Yes or no?
Yes.
Very strong from you, Johnno. Calls for Ken Hinkley's dismissal after 3 weeks were fair and balanced.
No.
Were harsh but fair.
No.
Were bland and non-committal.
No.
Were a little negative.
Yes.
A lot negative.
Yes.
Ridiculous and absolutely extreme.
Did
Yes
Kane
or
ask you to
no?
read these out? Yes.
Geelong will miss the 8. Yes or no?
No.
Ooh.
The umpire who called the dissent decision should be given Easter off, Johnno. Yes or no?
No.
The Suns will beat St Kilda at Marvel.
No.
Given the Eagles' injuries, they are now certainties for the spoon. Yes or no?
Yes.
Van Rooyen, or is it Van Ruin?
No, Royan.
It's his nickname is Roo, but it's Rooyen.
confusing.
So Van
And his
Rooyen
coach called him Ruin.
should have been the Rising Star nominee this week. One for Kevin Sheen. Yes or no?
Ooh. Maybe. Can you give me one
no,
maybe there?
No.
No.
3 goals on debut.
Well,
The Roos Carlton fixture is a sellout at Marvel. They have finally got the fixture right, and it should be locked in for 10 years. Yes or no?
no. Not 10 years.
9 years.
Yes.
Harry Mackay needs a new kicking coach.
Yes.
So does Joe Danaher.
Yes.
Eric Hipwood should be trialled in the back half.
No.
Donald Trump should be dropped to the 2s.
Yes.
Want to think about that?
I said yes.
Donald Trump will be the next POTUS.
No.
Sydney need to find a Tom Mitchell equivalent to address contested ball deficit against top sides, yes or no?
No.
The dissent debacle was the low point of last weekend, yes or no?
Yes.
The AFL's explanation was nonsense.
No.
Melbourne unearthed a long-term star in Van Rooyen.
Yes.
Tom Jonas on Isaac Rankin was a poor matchup.
Yes, bold capital.
An attacking back flanker, Kane Farrell, was also a poor matchup on Isaac.
Yes, bold capital.
We'll get back to you, Kane. I want to know who you think should have been on him, but next we'll move on. Jordan Dawson was rated the 6th best player on the ground. Trying to justify naming him as the best was always going to be difficult, yes or no?
Yes.
The Crows will make the 8.
No.
The Power will make the 8.
No.
Chris Fagan has a Joe Danaher problem.
Yes.
Collingwood and Melbourne are the clear favourites for the grand final, yes or no?
Yes.
Clubs are too quick to trade players, Johnno, to other clubs, only to need that very same player back in the team down the track.
No.
Frampton was on Port's list and would be a perfect fill-in for their backline right now, yes or no?
No.
Dan McStay is just what Brisbane need, Johnno, yes or no?
No.
Himmelberg should be moved to centre half back.
Yes, I agree with that one.
Taberner should be dropped, yes or no?
No.
Andrew Brayshaw is slightly off at the present time.
Yes.
You are going to make more than 5 changes to your All-Australian side.
Yes. Yes.
With Griffin Logue and Harry Mackay out of North Melbourne's side, Ben Mackay, Harry Mackay, should kick 5 goals, yes or no?
Yes.
Dyson Heppel should be dropped this week, yes or no?
No.
Tom Jonas should be.
No.
Jack Revolt should be.
No.
All right. And who should play on Isaac Rankin?
No, you
Darcy.
can't have an Isaac. That's a question to you.
No, I'm
Yeah, you gotta
answering it.
answer it.
Oh, okay.
I'm answering it.
What, this is yes or no with Kano?
No. I'd run out of questions, and I think you had as well. So I think Darcy Byrne-Jones was the obvious choice, wasn't he, for
Yes.
Isaac Rankin?
Well, he's played that role, I guess, the most. But it was. I just watched Kane Farrell when he was on him, and it was clear that he didn't really have any notion
No, he's got
of
none whatsoever.
staying defensive when the ball's in his area. He's a ball watcher
No.
and he's a ball getter.
That was like me going to full back and Gary Moorcroft. It didn't work out that well.
Well, it worked out well for him.
It did. Tom Jonas was he's a mid-size. He can't have anyone with any agility or speed and agility as
Which
as
creates,
an opponent.
so that's why it's a bit of an elephant in the room. So Cornelio has suffered from poor form as a captain and has been dropped. I'm not suggesting that Tom Jonas needs to be dropped yet, but how do you hide him, Johnno? Because he's 187, I'm going to say. Now, like Nick Martin came to the Sunday Footy Show to do the handball. He's 192.
Yeah.
Like he's and we were laughing because he's taller than Lloydie.
Is that right?
He's taller than the old-fashioned key forward. And so who does Jonas play on? Because if he can't play on the forwards, and a lot of them are 200 plus, you look at who they're going to play this week. Like McDonald would be pushing 200, Amati would be the same, and Franklin's probably 195, not 196. So you probably can't go there. But then he's got to go to a Papley or a, Heaney's probably a good matchup this week, but in other occasions it's not, and he's the captain of your club. So it is an elephant in the room for me. Would you agree with that on how to handle your skipper when he's out of form?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, with Tom, they've achieved under his guidance, and when they played the Bulldogs in that prelim final, he gave away free kicks early and played away from his real strengths. He tried to do some really tougher actions, but gave away crucial free kicks early in the game that night, and just been watching him closely since then. And as I said, there's been a number of positive things, but he just unless it's a matchup aspect of things, Kane, then they might have to look at other ways to use Tom throughout this year. Is there another way you can see watching him closely, or is it just defensive? That's it, and he's got to lock away to allow Aaliyah and the others to play a more freer game of coming into intercept?
He just needs. There isn't another position. When he first came on the scene off the rookie list, they tried him and to good effect as a tagger, but those days are past. He just needs to get back to his absolute aggressive best. Be a real hard-nosed player to play against. That's his strength. That's why he's got the captaincy. He's just dropped off on that. So I expect a response this week. Brad Johnson has been outstanding as always tonight, but his work is not done yet. Last week he was savage with his round 2 rolling All-Australian team. Let's find out what changes he's made this week.
How many changes, Johnno? You were 8 last week.
We've got 8 again.
He swung the axe again.
Yeah, couple of lates.
Wow.
Gee.
Just been going over it in the ad break, and
What are you
wasn't
actually-
happy with a couple.
Much loyalty.
How
Well,
long do you stay
It's not
in?
on me. It's on the players, Kane. This is their responsibility, not mine.
If you play 4 in a row, does that sort of good ones in a row?
Yeah.
And we haven't played 4 yet, obviously. But what's your theory? What's your sort of philosophy on sacking blokes after
There's-
a bad one?
Yeah, no, you give them a chance, I would
Okay.
have thought, to redeem themselves. The first 3 or 4 weeks in and out, that's just the way it's going to roll. And then after that, it'll
Okay.
settle. And I'll tell you what is settled, though, the back line.
Okay.
And this back 6, they're picking themselves, and it hasn't changed.
No change.
Well, I've had one change in the 3 weeks, and that's Wilkie to centre half back. But my back line is Cox, Lever,
Slowly.
Sard.
Cox. Yep.
Lever, Sard, Sinclair from the Saints, Wilkie from the Saints, and Nick Dacos. Sinclair's been a star. Dacos has been
Solid.
a star. The wing, Josh Dacos, has been excellent. Petrarca
Played a
holds
bit of
his
midfield.
spot.
He played a bit of
did.
inside, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. That's going to happen, though, in rotation. Petrarca holds his spot just. And a new addition to the wing, Mason Wood.
Yes,
Wood.
well
Yep,
played.
he's knocked the door down.
You're
and
rewarding form, Johnno.
I'm rewarding. I wanted to wait a couple of weeks for Mason, and he's played another ripper. And
Is he going to play this week or is he going to
no,
miss?
I think he's going to play.
Okay, good.
Which would be good. So half forward line is Curnow, Cameron, and back into the side, Jordan De Goey.
Isn't Johnno now playing deepest?
I'm still keeping him up there.
Okay, you're playing him there.
Jordan De Goey was in round 1, out round 2, back in. So he had an excellent game.
Who was your centre forward, sorry?
Jeremy Cameron.
Oh, yep.
Forward pocket, Toby Green just holds his spot.
Ooh. Did you consider axing him?
Yes,
I did. Game.
I did. I've kept him in. No, I've kept him in on 2. And if he plays poorly again this week, then he'll be out. Now, Larky is at full forward.
He actually said that with a smile on his face. I think he likes axing players.
And in the forward pocket is Isaac Rankin from the Adelaide Crows. He pushes his way in. Tom Papley goes out of the side. Now, the forward line, apart from Curnow and Cameron, Larky's been in from the outset, but I'm a bit nervous on Larky, but hopefully he continues on from a North point of view.
Did get last week? It was only one
but
or
the
two,
mids and smalls are kidding themselves at the moment. No one wants a mid to small forward spot in the All-Australian team. It's been difficult to keep players in that position. And the midfield has been decimated by injury. So all my midfield changes are because of injury. So
Who's your ruck?
The ruck I'm a bit nervous to sort of say because Max Gawn was my ruck and he got injured.
Yep.
Darcy Cameron was my ruck and he got injured.
Oh, no,
and
the curse.
I got the curse.
You cursed them.
The Dogs play Richmond this week, Kane. I might go Toby Nankervis as the ruckman. But honestly, can you tell me the best ruck in the comp at the moment? Please give it to me. Because, but that's the thing, right? But Gold Coast
O'Brien on the weekend was...
Tim English is the highest rated ruck. I had to go to ratings for this. I like the eye and a few other things, and then the ratings as well as a support. So I've gone with Tim English because he's the highest rated ruck at the moment.
Yep.
The rover is Darcy Parish, and he's fought his way in. He's had an excellent start to the season, and Clayton Oliver also comes into the side as a rover. My interchange is Sheasel hasn't changed, Pendles hasn't changed, Rioli hasn't changed, Bont comes in, and my sub is Dylan Moore from the Hawthorn Football Club.
Good selection.
Yeah,
I like that.
Dylan nearly got into the side on the half-forward line, but Jordan De Goey was just too good, so Dylan
you're
Moore
happy
comes
with
in.
Darcy Parish's game on the weekend?
Very happy with it.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you were going to name a coach. Not the All-Australian coach, but the coach of the weekend.
Coach of the weekend goes to Ross Lyon.
Ross Lyon continues on his winning
Continues
ways.
on. He is the one for me. There would have been a couple others close.
Did you consider Simpson?
Oh, yeah. That's a really good. I never thought of Adam.
Good effort. So many people dead and buried.
He nearly played with 16 on the ground.